This is a recording of the Eric Stewart Show for Sunday, November 4, 2012. You can listen to the Eric Stewart Show live every Sunday from 7 to 8 a.m. right here on 105.9 FM and AM 630 WMAL.
Welcome back. I've got Stuart Rosenthal, incognito on a far distant planet, calling in today. How are you, Stuart?
I'm well, thanks, Eric. How are you?
Good. Thanks. Hey, thanks for calling in. We're so glad to hear from you. Wanted to get a word from you on what's going on in the in the magazine this week. This is called the Beacon newspaper. For those of you who don't know, this is the Beacon Bits, our section dedicated to issues for those 50 and over. And in the Beacon newspaper, which is distributed across the metropolitan area at over 1,500 locations, every CVS. And by the way, if you want to get a copy and don't know where to go to thebeaconnewspapers.com. Stuart, what's going on this week?
Well, we have a nice article about Internet pharmacies. You know, people are going more and more to order their drugs online. And the FDA is a bit concerned about this because they've done some research, and the statistics are really a little frightening. Only about 3% of online pharmacies appear to be legit. That means there are thousands and thousands that are not selling the drugs they claim to be selling, but are selling counterfeit drugs or contaminated drugs or expired drugs, drugs without the active ingredient they claim to have. It's really not good news for people who are trying to order this way. Now, that's not to say there aren't some perfectly legitimate pharmacies, but if you want to know which ones they are, the FDA now has a website you can go to.
Okay. And if you're thinking then of buying, you should go to this website so you can get better understanding of what you should and shouldn't do.
Right.
It seems pretty logical. Now, what is the website?
Yeah. Well, it's FDA.gov. It's the main website, and then you do /be safe, the word be, the word safe, RX.
Okay. So
I wanted to point a few more things out that I learned from this article that we have. I've seen a number of Canadian pharmacies online, and you would think that those would be legit because Canada does indeed have less expensive drugs than America, and people can order from them from here. Although the FDA doesn't approve of that, but I mean it can be done. But I understand from this article that many of the pharmacies that even have Canada in their name or have the Canadian flag prominently on the site have nothing to do with Canada, are not Canadian pharmacies. They're just trying to make it look like they are.
I see. Okay. So be careful. Just because they've got Canada in the name doesn't mean they're authorized, just as much as probably there are places in China where they've got advertisements for America, and it doesn't come from us. So got to be careful. Vet.
Even doctors and cancer clinics have been found to be ordering counterfeit drugs online to save money, even major like cancer medicines and things. So
really,
it's pretty widespread, this inability to tell what's what. So it really pays to be careful.
So what else is going on in the Beacon this month?
Well, there's another article I thought was interesting. You may have seen these television commercials for testosterone. They're sort of really blanketing the airwaves in other places with the suggestion that older men apparently have a lot of low testosterone problems, and that theoretically this will help overcome poor sex drive or weight gain and fatigue or loss of muscle mass and all those kinds of things. And it's true that testosterone as a hormone can do some things that are helpful to people who really do have low levels. The problem is it's hard to know what really constitutes a low level because it changes all day long. Different times of day you have different levels. So when you get tested, it may not really be showing you what you really are on average. And some of these things that are being given to people, and there's patches and roll-ons and creams and gels, the studies of them really show that they're not that effective and that they have severe risks.
Wow. So that's...
prostate cancer is apparently much higher among those who are taking additional testosterone.
Right.
And they even closed the study down at Boston University a couple of years ago when they found that, half the people were getting the real thing and half were getting the fake, and those who were getting the real thing had 5 times more serious heart events, like congestive heart failure, heart attacks, and what. And they said, we're stopping this study. So you really have to be careful with that, too.
Wow. Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. I think being a human guinea pig is the worst thing I think any of us could face, and I think the idea that the drugs are there to help us, generally speaking, it's true. So make sure you're getting the right stuff. A, don't buy from a foreign depot of drugs unless you verify that they're selling legitimate drugs that you know and can verify. And B, make sure that you're doing the research that you personally can do to have a conviction that what you're taking is really right for you.
Right.
There's
a study going on right now at the National Institute of Aging on testosterone. So we'll know in a couple of years
Okay.
what really is the scoop on that.
Thank you, Stuart. Thanks for joining me again.
Thank you, Eric. No problem.